All right, welcome in everybody. This is the Detroit Lions Lone Wolves podcast, post-game edition. Lions win the game 17-13, and so much to talk about. The defense, the defensive line, growing, gaining some confidence. Derek Moore, DJ Wonham, showcasing some things. Nice to see the defense have a performance where you can start to say, okay, maybe we can calm down on this defensive line. They handled business. But the same token, the same level of happiness that you would have with the defense, you got to be concerned about that offensive line. Seth McLaughlin, horrible performance. The offensive line early on, horrible. They settled in a little bit, but Kobe Sorsdahl might not make it out of this Sunday. You realize a lot of mistakes blocking, a lot of miscommunication. The word of the day from TJ Lang was miscommunication. He might have said it half a dozen times. That offensive line has me scared. And there's no way about it. But there were some great players. Obviously, Skylar Gill-Howard, Jackson Meeks, Greg Dortch. All had some good performances. I thought the defensive line really came to play. And I think that the defense didn't give up a point in the first half. It was the offense that let Josh Dobbs down. And then Dobbs made a mistake. He settled in, but it doesn't make me feel comfortable at all. It doesn't give me, the offense didn't give me warm and fuzzies today. Again, it's vanilla. You can't make grand gestures, but you still can respond to what you saw. And I look forward to talking to you guys over the next hour, 90 minutes or so, regarding the Lions defeating the Commanders 17-13 at Ford Field. What did you think? Did you have anybody go? Are you coming back from Ford Field? What did you think? Funny moment. If you follow on X, everybody saw it. There were kids playing football at halftime. A kid got into the end zone. A kid. And he did the J-Mo Humpty Humpty dance in front of everybody. J-Mo. Influencing the youth. That's one way to get over. Oh, my goodness. But let's start with the luscious sources. Where do you start? What is the first thing that catches your attention? Is it the defense or the fear about the offensive line? Let's go. I want to see smashing the like button. Retweet on X if you're following. The Unknown Lion fans in. Aaron Green, K. Will, Anakin's here. Anakin knows. Anakin gets in first. Petzing again doesn't want to give too much away. Of course, it's very vanilla. And of course, Penei Sewell didn't play. But this is about depth. This is about if something happens to Jared Goff, if something happens to Blake Miller, Tate Ratledge, do you have any depth? The question is, sort of. Oof. Dinger Cleavage is here. One Pride. Leo Jimmy is looking forward to the show. Let's go. Always good to check in after a football game, talking ball. Jeffrey D. He's like, I haven't watched the game yet. Don't ruin it for me. Jeffrey D, that's kind of hard to do when we're trying to run a broadcast, be professional, keep going to 13,000 13,000 subscribers, super chats, likes. Jeffrey D, though, the question naturally would be, what would you then want me to talk about? My fantasy team with the 10th pick maybe is not that good, but we'll share that later if you stick around. What would I talk about if I didn't talk about the Lions? Of course, I could talk about myself for the next 5 hours, but can't do that. Edith Paul's in. Donkey Kong loves the countdown clock. Donkey Kong is the favorite. Look, I have to remember. You have to remember. I have to get my voice ready. You know, I'm a diva. I'm an egomaniacal diva. So, honestly, full stop. This is what I was doing. La 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 la. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Lions victory. When you're a professional broadcaster, I am a professional broadcaster. You can't just show up and start talking for the next hour. You got to do the la 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 la. You don't just start talking when you're a professional with these pipes and you're going to talk 7 days a week and talk to clients and talk to people and complain about the media. Oh, I got media complaints too. You want some drama? That's it. Gloves are off. That's it. There's no more secrecy regarding the NFL trying to get in bed with the media. It's out in the open. That's why independent media is now stronger and more important than ever. The NFL is just right away telling everybody, we're just going to get in bed with the media. We're going to partner with the media. The Lions are partnering with media outlets, giving them content. I was like, wait a minute. Maybe I should have played this game differently. But I'm satisfied. That's why independent voices are strong. That's why traditional media is not as trusted. Because, oh my God, they're just openly getting in bed with the teams. We got to talk about that later on. And I get it. I get why journalists would do that. I understand completely. But you have to disclose it. All right, what are we thinking? K. Will gets in. Having all their offensive weapons will help the O-line out a lot because it's obvious there will be breakdowns. Soon we will. Tailor-made media. I was told this Petsing offense was about points. I watched AG's Jets scored 17 and shut out the Steelers. Dobbs made a play for the Lions. Who else? Listen, Taylor, I get you. You want to be entertained. You want to see the points, but let's be real. The offense is not featuring J-Mo, St. Brown. It's not featuring the guns. Sam Laporta. So that's a very stripped out with an offensive line that has some communication problems. So that's the side of the ball that's going to get yelled at. The defense is going to get praised and the offense is going to get yelled at. Hank Fraley's got to step it up. I'm starting to get concerned about Hank Fraley. Is it the talent or the scheme? These guys are not communicating effectively. They're not stepping up to the plate. I mean, the first play, what is the first play of the game? You're not blocking right? I mean, that should be the first play that you're ready to go. How do you miscommunicate on the first play? Josh Dobbs is like, you kind of want to block? Larry Borum's like, no, blocking optional. Get Larry Borum off of the field. Now that's why you guys don't doubt that my throat is deep and can handle business. Now that's funny. Even that line gave some good creases to run through. They did. They settled in a little bit, but they gave up far too many mistakes. Far too many times Altmaier and Dobbs were running for their lives. Uh-oh. Wait, Dan said he is not worried or is worried? Cedric Wilson injury, unknown knee injury. You got to be specific because we are live on the air. He said, Dan, I don't think Dan says I'm worried. He's not worried or he is worried. Let us know. Fill us in. That sucks, man, for Cedric Wilson. Oh, man. According to the unknown Lion fan, he said, I don't know for sure, but I'm worried. Man. That stinks. That stinks. And then you saw Nice a little bit get dinged up, but it didn't look serious. Man, of course, the DSP curse hits again. I said I liked Cedric Wilson on a tweet today at Detroit Podcast. And also, too, I want to give you guys a caveat, okay? Because I think sometimes when you get new viewers, you got to set them straight so that the people I want to know. The Twitter page during games is a live emotional reaction to, and really is the same no matter what. It is not meant really to be rational. Okay. So the first things I do is if Josh Dobbs throws an interception, I'm going to say what's in my head the second I think it. Now, it could change 5 minutes later. The Twitter page is a running description of somebody that says, if I didn't think about what I was going to say, how would I react on X? Okay. So when he scored the touchdown, my first thought was, oh, some mobility is nice. But when he threw the interception, I'm like, this isn't good. This makes me uncomfortable. I don't like this. Okay. So that is what it is. It's not meant to be rational. It's really not even meant to be professional. It is a live running thought of what a sports fan thinks as he's watching a game. That's what it is. If you think you're looking for some button down bullshit, don't go there. Go to one of your other media members and fall asleep. That's not what I'm doing. Okay. And it's not even a secret. It's pretty straightforward with anybody with a brain, but I want to set it to the people that I care to know. And that's you guys. It's a live running reaction to what's in my, I am thinking it. At the second I type stuff, I am thinking it. So the jokes, the clowning around of the announcers, that is what it is. It's a live look at what a sports fan is thinking the second he's thinking it, and watching a game and typing is what I'm doing. If you like it, great. If not, maybe you pause it during, because it gets wild. Like we talk about cutting people right there after a play. And I get it. People will say, Doc, slow down. It's one play. No, it isn't. That's what sports is. If you don't like it, please just go somewhere else. But I want to make the caveat, that's what it is. All right. So what's your reaction? What do you guys do? The first play of the game, my first thought is you can't figure out the first offensive snap to get ready. I mean, that's coaching. And also, too, you saw Dan Campbell chirping into that microphone. He was like, he was not happy, obviously, to give up a touchdown on offense. Edith Paul wants to make a positive note. We had a Break Straw sighting. He didn't leave on a stretcher, which is good news. Great question. Sash Jordan 2596. It's really, of course, the Lions, right? I want to blend both of them. I want to blend the experience of Dobbs and the athleticism and the arm of Altmaier. I want to blend them together. But, look, Dobbs' mistake was terrible. That's like a rookie mistake. You can't throw against your body. You had all day to throw. Just throw the ball away. But the context is he didn't take a practice snap too many, and he's new to this iteration. So do you give him a pass? I don't. But I wasn't comfortable with him. So I'm already just, confirmation bias. I think who makes the better case is Altmaier in terms of his upside. But if Jared Goff goes down for a game, I am going to say that Dobbs is the guy. Now, Dobbs is just a little bit better because of his experience, his knowledge of the offense. But what is his ceiling? All I can do is I have a similar opinion to the Lions in-game radio analysis analyst, Mark Ryan. He's a smart guy. I'm a smart guy. And so we have the exact same feeling. And I'll share with you what he said, which is good. I should share what other people say and remind you that I'm not the only one that just has these opinions. Here's what Mr. Mark Ryan said right after the pick. He said at 12:21, you want a backup quarterback who can keep the train on the tracks for the short term if your starter has a minor injury. Kansas City has that. San Francisco has that. Mac Jones, Brock Purdy. As does Cincinnati. Well, you can make the argument Joe Flacco is not going to get you a lot of wins. That's a tough one I would have left out the Cincinnati part, Mark. Detroit does not. If Goff goes down for a single week, the Lions are in trouble. Now, a lot of you say, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, that's the case. That's always the case. That's always been the case. That will always be the case. It does not have to be the case. Okay? You don't have to be so close minded in saying, hey, we'll just settle if Goff goes down, the season's over. Or some of you might say, you know what? Even Dobbs giving the ball to Gibbs and St. Brown, we can even make Josh Dobbs look like Trent Dilfer with this offense. Who do you think, Sash, made the better case for QB2? And the question you would leave from this point of view from me that I would give to you guys is, do you want the Lions to look elsewhere to like an Aiden O'Connell to see if somebody else gets cut? Are you just willing to settle to say if Goff goes down, it's over? Or can you sell me, hey, Dobbs can even hand the ball off to Gibbs and make the offense look alive? I'm willing, I'm open-minded. And remember, my takes are strong, bold, said loudly, said proudly, but I am never closed-minded. If you say something profound, I might switch up right then and there. That's the deal to the luscious sources. I say what I think when I think it, and I don't care about the consequences. I ain't scared, and you guys know it. Steve O baby, my first thought was, is Isaac Tesla invisible? The only time I saw Tesla was him celebrating Dortch. Tesla was invisible. But again, I think Steve O baby coming out of this is that Tesla might not have the big numbers. He might be a red zone target, but in this offense, he might not get the love. For sure, Scruggs did better than Seth today by far. John Doe says 110 total team passing yards is pathetic. Correct. The false starts on Frazier were supposed to be on Seth. That's what I wrote in the takeaways. I just put multiple false starts. I have depth concerns along the offensive line. That's fair to say. Quarterbacks. Who do you think made the better showing for themselves? Now, okay, so now, of course, Dobbs throws a pick. We all get excited. We start ranting and raving online. Then he has a 50-yard touchdown. So my natural tweet was, man, doesn't mobility look good when you can run a zone read option? Doesn't that look good? Could you imagine if the Lions could have a quarterback that started that did that? With what Petzing could do with that? Oh, but Dobbs, I think the question mark was not about this performance. He has a ceiling. We all know it. One game. He can give you one game. Everybody knows it, that when he goes into 2 weeks, 3 weeks of fill-in, he's going to look like how he did today. Oh, man, that's a good question. There's way too many hard cut decisions for them to carry. 3 quarterbacks. Who's more likely to clear waivers? Man, depending on you got to get lucky. I think Altmaier might clear waivers. But he's got talent. And that's what next week's game against the Colts is going to show something. That's tough. Who's more likely? Would Dobbs clear waivers? He was a free agent. Man. Ryan Green gets in. Interesting to see Rake play today, don't you think? A year ago, both those minor injuries would have been long-term. No doubt about it. It is good to see him play. But if he's a second half guy, that means they want to show they want to see some things. Donkey Kong is good with Luke Altmaier. Who had the better game? One Repub says, I think Luke is better than Hendo for sure. I'm not too concerned about the O-line, though they need to get it together and fast. Okay. So you start the game, and then you see the interception. Like I said, the Twitter page is alive. Please understand that it's not really meant to be rational. It's not meant to be professional. And if anybody ever read that and looked at it and said, this guy's trying to be professional, then they're stupid too. It's pretty clear, and it's been done for 15 years. It's a running thought of how a sports fan that actually is into things, how they think. And when he threw the interception, I was just like, that was it. I was done. I was cutting them. If they had a fan approval meters, when he threw that pick, it was at 0. Why is he on this roster? What the hell? I'm like, oh, throwing across your body, and they gave him time. And he had an open. Like, how do you miss an open receiver on a check down? Unknown Lion fan, Luscious Source says the attendance at Ford Field was 50 G's. Yeah, they want to watch football. They want to evaluate. Listen, unknown, they are something else. But the reason why it's super highly attended is the Lions charge you full price for your ticket for that game. There's no discount, I don't think. Riddle me this. I am not a season ticket holder anymore. I watch football games for free for a decade. And if I want to go to a game, listen, I'm Middle Eastern. I have connections. I don't really think I'd have to pay to go to Ford Field. And now that there's a Lebanese president, they're going to, and knowing how the Lions are, once they figure out how big the Lions audience is here, they might want to partner with me, given that's what they're doing nowadays. They're like, why would we want this guy on the outs? He's young, passionate, has the Middle Eastern backing. They may come a-calling. But I will tell you, I will rebuff any efforts to partner with the Lions. Unlike some of your other media who have gotten into bed with the Lions, I will reveal a couple of your media outlets are getting into bed with the Lions, indicating conflict of interest, indicating, that would introduce bias in their coverage. Openly. It ain't even a secret anymore. Remember, for the right price, the doc can be bought and paid for, but the price would have to be exorbitant. Exorbitant for me to sell out. Your media is cheap. They sell out for audio gear. Your media is cheap. It would have to be exorbitant. You're like, what are you talking about? Once the second story came out today from the Pro Football Talk about the Athletic maybe partnering up with NFL Network and NFL to put out content, I said, okay, now it's just out in the open. The NFL and their teams are getting into bed with their media, which is a no-no. But I kind of like it. I mean, hell, the journalists don't care anymore. They need to, sow their oats too. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. Doc, I can't have an undrafted rookie as a backup. Why are people trashing Dobbs? Well, he had an interception that was horrible. Vrabel took that literally. Yeah, they're getting into bed with the media. Literally. I make sure I have the audio. I will play it for you guys. I was like, what? I'm like, this is out in the open. But they disclosed it, which is good. But I don't know if people really latched on to what the comment meant. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So I'll give you the inside on what we're seeing with the media at the end of the show. Oh, and also make sure you stay tuned to Lions on SI's website. If you want to know who played, who didn't play, it's on the website. If you want to know the grades and our post-game reaction, it'll all be there. Irv Gotti's like, uh-oh, what I do this time? Oh, and let me obviously the first thing we're table setting is the quarterbacks, the concern about the offensive line, literally. But let's also now give, let me be professional here for a moment. Derek Moore, Detroit Lions defensive end, looking the part. He looks the part. I don't recall where he played football collegiately. A lot in my brain. I can't remember. I think local. But Detroit Lions defensive end Derek Moore balled out. And he said, and if you followed me, you heard, because I was following along. I had, if you want to know, I have the multimedia setup, which is so much better for me. I have an iPad with stats. I have 2 laptops. I got a TV. I got the Twitter page up. I go, I'm media stacked. And I didn't have fanboy slappy media chirping in my ear for 3 hours. So much better. So I could focus and type. The words flew out perfectly. 800 words flew out in 3 hours perfectly. I was like, oh man, quiet. This is what it sounds like. This is what it's supposed to be. Quiet. Watch the game, analyze the game, tweet, type. Derek Moore, DJ Wonham got sacks. Think Derek Moore played at Saginaw Valley? It's starting to realize that the defensive line, Tyleik Williams, Aleem McNeil, DJ Wonham, Ahmed Hassanin, Derek Moore, there may be some answers opposite of Aiden. And that's a positive sign. The defense played well. DJ Reed didn't really like the fact that he did the flip, but hell, he made a play. That duck move was sweet. Whoop, that's how you do it. Now, what also caught my mind was, I'm telling you, you couldn't pay me enough to be a running back to stare down a defensive end. Are you effing kidding me? Was that Sailors that got his ass blown out? And then you saw Tyler Conklin. Man, he struggles blocking. Like he's lumbering, man. He's a little like I like Tyler Conklin in theory, but he's old. And some of the reps that he gave there to the Lions left a lot to be desired in the blocking category. Whoop, younger. I mean, remember he's in his 30s. A lot of tread on those tires. Tight ends blocking against defensive ends, running backs blocking against defensive ends is gross. And defensive coordinators that can exploit that matchup, that's what I would love to do. Dream scenario, I'm more of a guy that would love to coach the defense. Give me the challenge. I don't want the easy way. I don't want a diva wide receiver humping in the end zone. I want to be a guy to try to stop the offense given the rules. The hard way, the hard road. I like things the hard way. I'm not taking the Lions audio gear to do a podcast. I want things the hard way. I really wish they put Aleem out there. I wanted to see Aleem's power. No. No Aleem, no Aiden, no Jack, no way. We got a new Demos, number 9. We call him Mr. Derek Moore. and a lot of you have opinions on X2 regarding the comment about Josh Dobbs. Luckiest man in the world says there are like 4 backups that are good across the whole league. Why can't you have one? Doug O writes me, really? This is your take? My take was a little stronger than Mark Ryan's. It was Detroit Lions don't even know what a decent backup looks like. Why are they scared to have Jared Goff really compete with someone? Speaks to them being hypocrites about competition. I think Jared Goff should be pushed. Don't you think that if he just had a little bit of a better quarterback than Josh Dobbs and Luke Altmaier, that would push him a little bit more? Tell me, okay? Riddle me this. What would it hurt to have like a Mac Jones here? Mac Jones. I mean, I never got why. And I think there's only really, I understand I have opinions and other people have opinions. The one thing I never understood why is I got in my 15 years covering sports and doing podcasts and giving opinions. I never understood why the biggest pushback I would get on X is, and sometimes on here, is me saying I want a better player on the team. And maybe it's simple. They're in our uniform. We love them. But I always looked at it like I saw Matthew Stafford. I said, I think we can get better. I want better. No, he's our guy. I'm like, I don't smell Super Bowl with him. Too many turnovers, too many clutch moments that it doesn't work out. I don't see the it factor. I don't see it. No. I just say there has to be better than Josh Dobbs out there. You guys are like, no. So maybe I didn't eloquently put it, but I think that a better quarterback makes Jared Goff better. Seeing things, competing, being more focused, being more aware, just a little bit of a fire on your ass. This is Jared Goff's job. He's on the lazy chair. He sits there, the king of the castle. I think it's time to draft a legit somebody where maybe even, I don't know though, in this day and age, there might not be a slappy reporter who would even write that there's a competition. Who knows? I think it's time. Compete. And I don't even think that it is all that much of a hot take to say, I want the best players at the best times for the Detroit Lions. But that always gets you pushback. You guys love the players that are on this roster. But the second they get cut, then you guys are free to trash them. I want the better players right now in the time I'm alive and youthful and fresh skin, no wrinkles. JP McAvoy, a lot of respect for you. You've been commenting for a long time. Perhaps it says that Goff doesn't want anyone who threatens his job. Think about it. Haven't had a decent backup since he's been here. That's a good comment. I retweeted it. Joe Frick with a realistic answer. Who out there is actually a threat to Goff? Anybody remotely close is a starter that would require a first-round pick or $30 million plus as a free agent. Way too much value on a backup. See, those are smart comments. You say, why would you do that? He's like, look, Goff's making 50. He takes up all the quarterback money. And all I can say is, Joe Frick, that's a good comment. You earned a like. Pero with another good comment. Goff is in the top 3 of nearly every category for quarterbacks. And you think he needs competition? Why? Who? That's another good comment. I mean, that's a comment that makes you think. Does Jared Goff need competition? I looked at it like, if Jared Goff is top 3, then he can be top 1. He could be a Super Bowl winner. Yeah, now you guys are sending me messages. Who would they get? That's a good question. Jerome Jenkins wants to volunteer his services. The Lions allowed only 9 first downs the entire game. That is the lowest total in the entire league so far this preseason. Unknown Lion fan, did you see my tweet? If you were checking into the television broadcast today on Fox, do you know what Sheila Hemp was doing? She was having a little chit chat with Calvin Shepard. She was having herself a little chit chat. She was probably like, we might need to actually have you step up and kind of get yourself into a top 15 spot. We could use your services a little better. you know, I could ask a favor of you guys, unknown Lion fan, or the person that put this in here, Teddy. Being we bring you daily content, place to talk, highlight your stuff. I am on TikTok, YouTube, X, Blue Sky, Threads. I am not on Reddit. If any of you guys, I just don't have time for the AMAs or the interactions. I know it's big there. I just don't have time. I'm still working on to type in Discord and Google. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to try to do it by next week. So that's on the list. If any of you are on there regularly and you see something you like from Lions on SI, share it. Or if you see stuff that you like from us, feel free to grab a link and share it. Hey, this is interesting from Lions on SI. Thank you. I know periodically I see general discussions about which podcast you like. Half of you like us, half of you don't. So that means it's good. But if you're ever on Reddit and you see a story that you like or a projection, you say, hey, what do you think about this guy's content? My man with the super chat, $9.99, Chief IT Hips, gets in with the first super chat of Saturday. I said it on Doc's Twitter feed, and I'll say it again. If the Lions can show a true pass rush this year, that Super Bowl window is far from closed. It's exciting. Every single year is different, Chief IT Hips is always great, and I appreciate the banter. It's cool. It's always good to talk ball with people, whether you agree. You don't have to disagree. You don't have to agree with me. That doesn't get you blocked. What gets you blocked is really probably two things automatically. It's simple rules. If you call me clickbait, you're probably going to get blocked. And if you got like 10 followers and you're following 1,900 people and you say something stupid like, who cares? Your time is not valuable enough for me. You're going to get blocked. The people they follow 2,000 people, have 10 followers, and they feel the need to opine. It isn't going to go anywhere. That's right, Chief IT Hips. And you saw it today. He didn't agree with my Dobbs comments. He says the Super Bowl window is open. I still think it's open. I just don't know if they'll cash it in. I said on my Doc and Jock podcast this week, which comes out every Thursday, and I said on Crunch Time, right now, Chief IT Hips, I'm asking from the luscious sources, from the people, reasons why you believe they'll cash it in. Because I'm starting to feel with that bright yellow feed that you got going on with the super chat, I feel like the Lions are going to be the Steelers and Ravens. A lot of teasing, a lot of winning, a lot of hope, a lot of letdowns. But you're right. One time, give us a pass rush, the team can win. One time. Bless you, man. Hope everything's going great with you and life is treating you great. Bobby Stark, yada mio gets in. Hope you're having a good week. Always good to see you, brother. Trying to figure out why Juice was laughing and cheesing so hard. He cheeks. First of all, if you survive an NFL game, you should feel good. And you know why he was laughing so hard? Bobby Stark, Jaramillo, let me tell you why. Because this one is probably not overt. This is in the realm of subconscious. This is Freud. He was out there watching Seth MacLachlan. He's like, I got me a job. He was out there going, that's Seth? I got me a job. He was like, Seth ain't taking my job. He's like, that guy, false start. He was sitting there running, and the guy's like, the announcers were like, man, Seth, you got to kind of keep blocking. You can't just kind of give up and be behind the play as the defensive linemen are crushing your quarterback. So he was cheesing. He was happy. If I wasn't watching to that degree, but if he was laughing, it's because he knew. He's like, oh shit, this competition's over. It's over. Seth ain't winning shit. Not in 7 days. It's over. The starter will be Juice Scruggs, and Seth's got to figure it out. It's over. Seth was terrible. Jackson Meeks was a winner today. Yeah, Jackson Meeks was a winner. He was a bright spot. Made plays, punched the ball out. Special teamer. It sucks, man. Cedric Wilson's injury, that sucks. Three minutes, we'll have the Cedric Wilson story, and then an hour from now, we'll have the winners and losers of the game. Man, that sucks. That sucks. Cedric Wilson, he could have been a trade piece. I think Tay Martin gets a job. Not in 7 days, not in 14 days either, TaylorMade. Seth ain't winning a job as a starter. Get to the practice squad. But Nice got hurt. Those guys will be back, my man, and they also have an easy schedule. Yeah, that's it. Schedule merchants will definitely get the opportunity to win a lot of games. So make sure there's about 70 of you in here on YouTube and 160. Hit the like button, retweet, and like on YouTube. Hype up the stream. I appreciate it. And again, subscribe, and then number one thing, hit the notification bell as we drop videos at halftime. Member videos. If you want to become a member, super affordable a month. For the price of 1 cup of coffee, you get instant access to videos, emojis, get your comments highlighted first, jump the front of the line. It means a lot to the growing membership. I was shocked. I never thought that we'd have that many members that want to see exclusive videos and use the emojis. That's really cool. As part of our growing community. That's really cool. Doc, who do you think plays against the Lions when they face Minnesota? Oh, it'll be Kyler Murray. Who do you think? Brian L gets in. I don't know if Frazier's making this team. He was out there doing his best. Matador, ole, ole. And, and letting everybody right through his blocks. He's like, ole, 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 ole. I ain't blocking you today. Brian, my brother. Listen, I haven't forgotten. Don't forget. Probably within the next 30 days, we'll probably be sipping some whiskey together. Whiskey and a cigar. Bullshitting. Ole, ole, ole. Blocking optional today. And also, two luscious sources. I felt a little juice today. You know why? I was up last night. You're scrolling Netflix and you're trying to enjoy yourself. Or like, okay, I got a big day tomorrow. You're going to work. And a Netflix doc came up, and it was really interesting. Mike Wallace from 60 Minutes was a bulldog, and it kind of gave me renewed hope. All right, it's still there. There are still people with piss and vinegar, and he's on the journalism side. But to see that documentary made me so it was crazy to watch from my lens. The same shit people were saying about the media in 2020 in COVID and the fake news kind of stuff. The same kind of stuff that's being said now was said in the 70s. It was said about Mike Wallace. He's too direct. He's too bold. He's unprofessional. I was like, wow, that was cool. Mike Wallace was an OG. Mike Wallace was an he made girls cry in interviews. He made women cry in their interviews. And he did something with quickly here. He did something that I don't know if I even had with the guts to do. He gave a pre-approved question list for a serious person he was interviewing, and he gave the questions that got approved, and he went and did the interview and started asking questions that were not approved. He was like, I got to ask. I was like, man, Mike, when I saw, like, I want to learn more. I watched 60 Minutes, but not in the last decade. You know, Mike Wallace is an OG. That's the way it should be done. The explanation, the documentary. If you just get an hour and a half and you just want to learn about somebody that's a bulldog and has no fear, and big balls, man, Mike Wallace was an OG. Still, I don't know his story now. In his 80s, was still doing that shit. Awesome. Brian, definitely. I got to find a way to connect with you, but I know you'll pop in the stream. Or here, you guys know it. It's open. Just shoot me an email, B. Just shoot me an email. And you guys can freely shoot me email anytime you want. That's right. Whiskey and a cigar and talking shit. That's a fun night. And everything I will disclose is off the record. We'll put it out there now. If I ever hang out with any of you and I start talking shit, it is not to be repeated. Because I'll deny it all. Edith Fall. So again, off the record. Wonham, Hassanin, Gil Howard, and more. Giving me hope. And Devin White looks like a great addition. That's all the positives. Hell yeah. That sucks for Cedric Wilson, man. That sucks. Gloomy update on Cedric Wilson. Gloomy. Yeah, but if you ever want to know just a little bit of how I was just, again, I just say it because it aligned. Basically, anybody that does the job the way that I do it, that's how Mike Wallace sees it. But he also had the same reservations. Like, he's a TV guy, he's doing his thing, he did commercials. So he had his own little self doubts. It was just really cool. That's a good documentary, Mike Wallace. Man, we're only speculating, no official things. I think Cedric Wilson tore his ACL, according to the Lions. This is not reporting. This is just the opinion of the unknown Lion fan. Yeah, exactly. The 60 minutes tick, tick, tick represented the end of the weekend. Yeah, one Repub knows. There's no snitching in the Luscious Sources group. There should be no snitching. Plausible deniability. Well, look, Brian's in real estate. He might tape me. He's like, dude, I'll tape this guy. This guy's crazy. All of a sudden, my voice shows up in some TikToks. Oh, it'll be good. Those are, if it goes viral, if you get 1 million views out of it, yeah, we'll consider it. Oh yeah, I should do the disclaimer too. I should do it nowadays too, given my profile and my propensity to shoot from the hip. The views expressed by Mr. John C. Macaroon do not reflect the views of Sports Illustrated, their partners or subsidiaries, and any people with credentials. The views expressed by me are said by me, represented by me, and if you judge me, fuck you. So there you go. The views expressed by me are representative of the Lone Wolves podcast only. And if you got a problem, hop off. We don't care. But we got to remember that. You got to do the disclaimer. The views expressed by the Lone Wolves podcast do not reflect the views of anybody but the person saying it. All right, that was a fast hour. We have a story here. Give me 3 minutes. Let me refresh the voice and post this story everywhere. We got 2 more stories coming. We got grades. We got winners and losers. And I'll just do a quick update with the boys that are covering. Again, you have a halftime thing on YouTube. So I'm going to stay here 3 minutes and we'll get back to talking. Probably go another hour. That was a fast hour. But we're recapping the game. Just need a quick. We'll end on, we'll go to break on this. Valentin Sinitage says, your take on the quarterbacks is why you can't take these guys seriously. Oh, well, oh, well. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Well, that was fun. I got 1 post in and the texts have been sent. I just need 1 more to go. But what we're doing here, this is to reset. This is just a post game talking about the highs and lows of the game. Highs, the defense, amazing work. Defensive line, DJ Reed, good stuff. Lows, offensive line, concerns about the backup quarterback, the offense looking a little slow. It really does show you, even in the preseason, you practice how you You practice how you play how you perform in training camp. Isn't that wild to think that the offensive line didn't have the best week, and then in the game they didn't have their best game? It's time for the offensive line to have a good week. And for your update, let me give you update. Oh yeah, roll call. Where's everybody listening in from on this beautiful Saturday? How's it going, Doc? Listening from Chesaning, Michigan. It's going great, man. It's just I'm blessed. I'm just thankful. And listen, I'm not supposed to share this kind of stuff, but I always feel like, I mean, if you share success, it's what are they going to do? So what on SI does, it's natural, right? There's 32 teams and there's 32 publishers covering NFL teams. When I took the job, I told the bosses, I'm competitive. I want to have the Lions site in the top 10 throughout the whole course. If I'm outside the top 10, something is wrong. We have a passionate fan base. I already have this many people following me. I want this site to be competitive and to make you guys money and to make you happy. And so it's fluctuated. And one time, you got veterans who have millions of readers, the Broncos, Cowboys, Giants, the New York markets. So I just set a goal. I said, I want one day when they report, because they share. I want one day when they share the PowerPoint presentation in our meetings that they say the Lions were number one. I worked and worked and worked, video after video, story after story, blog after blog, interview after interview. And in 2023, I think in December, or 24 at the 15-2 year, they popped it up and they said, all right, here's how everyone's doing. And it popped up and I was almost crying. The Detroit Lions site number one on the entire SI platform. I was like, holy crap. So I was very happy. Now it's never really been outside the top 10. So you're like, oh man. And listen, I'm a human being. So you're like, man, okay, I lost the credential. And I want you guys to know I publicly revealed I lost the credential. I didn't have to, but I said full disclosure, I'm open book. I did something that the Lions didn't like. I shared it. And so I didn't have to do that. I could have just been pretending like some of the media in town do and act like they're there when they're not. I could have did that. But I was disclosing the truth. And you're like, okay, do people, because now you see the comments, oh, you're not welcome. This is why they banned you. I'm like, okay, we still have the same kind of number of readers, but now you see more of that shit. So you go, okay, what's the numbers going to look like when they do the report? And we flashed the report this month. And I'm like, I don't have a credential. I don't have access. I'm not Brad Galley waxing poetically with the players every single day. Fucker showed up number 2 on the list. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, wow. Number 2. And I was like, I'm just, so I definitely muted my microphone. I muted the computer because you know what I was going to say, right? An idiot asshole like me is going to be like, how the fuck am I number 2? I don't even have a credential. You know why? Because I keep it real. I could be real wrong, but I keep it real. That's the difference. I didn't lose any followers. So thank you guys. That brings me to tears. Holy crap. Now I flash up there, number 2. Jesus Christ. How the hell does that happen? So that's pretty sweet. So I didn't say that to nobody except for you guys. I didn't say that out loud. Boom. I'm like, but of course I'm not happy because I'm like, why am I not number 1? You can't though. These guys have big followings. Cowboys, Giants, they're the big dogs. But yeah, no, I'm never going to give up. No, I got renewed. And now what's going on? It's like a new hobby, not a new hobby, a renewed purpose. That the media is in bed with the Lions. How far can a guy on the outside take it? That's beautiful. That's going to be great to see. And maybe if I get to number 1, I can hire some mods to modify the chat. I can get some better production value. I can get friends to do the podcast with me regularly. But, there's only one Doc and one guy with the biggest ego here. So I don't think anybody could handle me consistently. So, but thank you though, humbly, truly, in all seriousness, thank you for making it so that on Sports Illustrated can't throw me out. I mean, they could, but it would be pretty stupid because I have the emails. you know? So, and in the end, I am pretty employable. I think I'd be picked up within 5 minutes by 6 different places. They'll be like, does your company like making money? Does your company like having an audience of this that has been demonstrated for the last 9 years? Oh, they'll be like, yeah, we might like that. But on Sports Illustrated, it's cool. Like, they obviously have some standards that they want me to follow, but they also realize what makes me me is the freewheeling style and the honesty of it all. And the fact that they know, okay, maybe one day if the Lions want him to get in bed with them, he'll take the offer. But not yet. I'm still 47. I'm still viciously strong. I am not getting in bed with the Lions. I can't do it. So, and I know my wife's probably on the background here nudging me, get in bed with the Lions. You could be Brad Galley. You could interview the players. You could have the NFL Network pump your shit. Can't do it. Won't do it. I'm a stubborn MFer. Professionalism 101. Hold out until you get in bed with the team until the money's the best. Yeah, I need enough money for a mod. All right, what else? Derek Moore. What's now your expectation for him? What's your expectation for Derek Moore this year now? Look, he can ball. I think he's shown he can ball. Of course, the first play of the game is Amik Robertson getting the pressure. That was funny as hell. And again, my favorite comments are, we can't take you seriously. I mean, it's really funny when you kind of look at it from that perspective. The guy who makes jokes is, okay, another caveat. When I say Jason Benetti uncensored thoughts, that is not him saying those things. That's me pretending I'm getting in his brain and saying those things. That's a funny bit too. Amik was out there talking all types of shit after that play. Yeah, I probably might, figure out what that means. I think it means what? You sit in and you just moderate if shit like that it might happen. I don't know what this saying is. I don't know. What is this? Go what? Sing the blues? The Lions player Derek Moore, I think he went to Saginaw Valley. I think they said he went to some guy from college showed up. Pride time. Yeah, no. Pride time. I said in a podcast on this very show in September. I said, "Man, I'm talking a lot of shit." I said, "I'm talking a lot of shit." I said, "I feel like I'm getting in trouble, but I'm like, we're going first. We're going full bore no matter what." Ishama Slayer. Doc, if our D has been winning the majority of camp and the defense is worse than last year, what does that say about our offensive line? What a great comment. See, that's all we're asking the discussions to be, is that, wait a minute, if the defense is playing good and the offense is not, what's going on? Well, there's a clear situation to talk about. So, see, that's all we're asking for, is common-minded people think this way. Is that when you lose your center, Cade Mays, you lost the cohesiveness of the starters. Now you're trying to shuffle. So reps are being taken away from Tate Ratledge at right guard. Now he's shuffling over to center. Yeah, I get it. A lot of you guys vehemently defend Jared Goff, and it's really good discussion. If you go on and check it out, it's actually been respectful for the most part about the quarterback spot. But what does it say? It says that the offensive line is learning, at different spots. You got Miles Frazier, Juice Scruggs was also playing at different spots. He's not only taking snaps at center, he's taking snaps at left guard, right guard, sometimes at tackle. He's taking snaps all over to cross train, so it's not as cohesive. And guys, we have to acknowledge it. The Lions camp is not as tight and clean as it's been. These guys are running practices hour, and after a game, you get a walkthrough. So they are not hitting it as intensely as down and dirty as they have been. This camp is less. There's only 3 more training camp practices left. Tomorrow is a walkthrough for the team. Get the blood flowing again after a game. Monday's an off day. You get Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice, and that's it. Training camp's over. 19 practices, I think, total. This was and will go down, I think, as the lightest camp the Lions have run. And you have to say, look, was it too light? Not as many live tackling periods. They are trying to stay healthy, and I can respect it. I get it. You get the reason why. You can't knock it too much, but when you see the sloppiness of the offensive line there, and typically defenses right now are ahead because the coordinator's the same, the philosophy's the same. Everybody that's there understands what's going on. Jack Campbell leads the way. Derek Barnes leads the way. You have a lot more holdovers, and you have now change amongst the offense. So there's going to be some chaos in regards to, obviously, when you see this, the depth is not as great as we would like. And I think it's fair to say Chris Smith, Tyler Lacey, the depth on defense a little better than the offense. And remember, we're talking Lions versus Lions. Now, what's it going to look like when the Lions face off against other teams? Pride time B, and also about the backup QB position, they don't want to disturb Goff's confidence. If that's the truth, I cannot believe that's the truth. I can sit with the argument that Goff is really good. There really is nobody that can read the defenses better. He's the best option. And this sounds stupid to say out loud. Okay? But I'm going to try to put it into the best words possible. Remember Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe, $100 million man, big, tall, physical dude, just bravado. He's Jared Goff with more of a personality, right? He's making $100 million. He goes down, and Tom Brady, a 6th rounder, comes in. Nobody in the NFL thought Tom Brady was Tom Brady, as evidenced by, 199 or whatever pick he was in the 6th round. Every team passed on him 5 times, including your Lions. And trust me, Pride, you know this, and you know it to be true. If Tom Brady was drafted by the Lions, he'd be Kyle Allen. That's just the way of the world. He'd be Kyle Allen bouncing around the league. This guy comes in with the nastiest, ugliest combine numbers, the paciest photo ever in the combine. He's out there, but something clicked in his spirit, his competitiveness, where he just has it. He's got talent, but he's got it. It's beyond football. It's beyond measurables. It's beyond arm speed, talent, mobility. It's just it. He just has it. Now, this gets into shit that's not measurable, but I don't know if Jared Goff has it. He can be the smartest guy, the toughest dude, plays every down, is a guy that you tell him, hey, where's the defense here? He'll tell you, this is high zone. This is da-da-da. This is going to be a blitz. This guy's going to be here. This guy's going to be there. Great. But when those defensive ends are barreling down on his ass, the football is going to fly out of his hands for some reason, for guys like that, the football flies out of his hand into the defensive end's arms, into the end zone for a touchdown. Does Jared Goff have it? I think he's close to it. He's as close to peaking in terms of his football prowess as possible. Can he do it? Whatever that is. There's another factor. The it factor. If you watch wrestling, it's kind of like, look, you got Sami Zayn, you got Obafemi. Sami Zayn's going to put on a 10-star match every single night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Obafemi walks out there, you want to take out money and buy all his shirts. You want to do you just want, he has it. So that's just the best way I'm going to put it is there's something missing in the quarterback spot. So given that, I am not falling in love with Jared Goff. To me, it's all the same. It's all, if the Lions go 0-16 or they lose in the NFC title, it's still not winning a Super Bowl. So I'm not scared to go backwards in the effort of maybe keep finding someone else to get you there. You know what I mean? Lions fans are like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I respect it. They're like, wait a minute. Do not take away the wins. We like the wins. We like the safe. We like it safe. Doc is a little different. Another analogy I can use for you guys with the quarterback. Doc goes to the casino, wins $200. His ass does not leave the table. His ass goes, what if I win 500? Keep betting. I am not worried about the $200. What if I could win 2,000? Doc ain't scared. I am not doing the, oh my God, honey, we won $200. Let's take the money off the table and go home and eat some dinner. It's like, hey, if we're winning 200, let's win 2,000. You gotta have some balls to sometimes make tough decisions. The Lions went safe. They said, damn, we got a guy that can win us 10 games every year. And this is my big thesis to go away from the direct analysis. The Lions like safe corporate quarterbacks that do not ruffle feathers and might lack the 1% last thing they need to rally a whole locker room to just push to win a Super Bowl. I am not a fan of that. Man, I think you're probably, that's maybe where I could be the biggest wrong comments I ever make. I feel like you're going to get what you get. I don't know how much better Jared Goff's going to get. And please, I don't want to see another decade of the same thing. So, you know what I mean? It's like, it's I get it. Jared Goff will win you a lot of games. But I'm just, until I see it, I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it, when Goff is holding the Super Bowl trophy, and I'll be like, damn, I was wrong. I don't know shit about quarterbacks. But so far, I was right about Stafford, and everybody else knew the other quarterbacks, Joey Harrington, they had no chance. Pride time. Appreciate you, my friend. Doc, I agree. One taste of that NFC Championship game, and now getting to the playoffs ain't good enough. It never was. Exactly. It's not good enough. See, that's where the psychology of the Lions fans puts me at a disadvantage. I'm not happy after 2023. You choked. I'm ready to tear it all down and start over. If they don't win it this year. Well, you can't because you invested it. You see what I'm saying? You invested in all those players. That's why you scream, wait a minute, you can't pay everybody. But that's what they did. And so that's where the difference lies is I don't care about 10-7 winning the division. I want to be the Chiefs. I want to be teams that, hey, let's win the Super Bowl 1-2 times, get back there, take a year off, get to that level. You're close. You're knocking on the door. The Chiefs, the Patriots, the Seahawks, Eagles. I feel like you're in the Steelers, Ravens camp, Bengals. Like good, but just kind of there. but maybe Aiden steps up, Jack Campbell steps up. Maybe these players step up to the level where Jack Campbell, Aiden, Aleem, Tyleek, maybe everybody steps up and we handle our business. Appreciate you, Pride Time, my brother, man. That's really cool. Your comments are always welcome here, my friend. Steve O baby, efficient. We'll see how good he'll be when the regular season starts. And I'm talking about golf. Real quickly, here are some players that help their roster chances. Clearly winner, Skylar Gill-Howard. The man makes plays. He's breaking down warm-ups, he showed leadership and inside the den last week. Devin White making the team. Eric O'Neill, day in, day out, doing his thing. He just makes plays. Tay Martin, just every week, makes plays, shows up, does his job, and Jackson Meeks. I think I highlighted most of them, except O'Neill, in my takeaways article that dropped. We're going to have winners and losers as well. Detroit Lions defeat the Commanders 17-13 at Ford Field. Did you guys get concerned about Jake Bates missing the 55-yarder? To the right. His swing is always, when he misses, it's always interesting. Joey 2 times, 25-31. Golf will always make me bite my nails, but the numbers speak for themselves. You don't put up a 3+ year stretch like golf has done if you aren't a very good quarterback. Yeah, like I said, golf is, let me make the numbers better. Golf is the quarterback that you got when you won $700 at the casino. You ever want to win $3,000? You got to keep betting. You know, a lot of people, when they lose at the casino, they start adding the money that they won. Man, I lost the 700 and I put another 700. I lost 1,400. My brain walks away going, I lost $700. I don't add the money. I never had it. Until I leave and cash out, I never had the money. It says, you never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Just go. Keep adding those chips to the table, baby. That's an amazing analogy. What are you talking about? The Lions have a safe quarterback. $500 winner. That's what you got. Where's the Super Bowl ring? Where's the Super Bowl appearance? 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Listen, I know we all want to erase it, Joey, 2 times. But an NFL coach decided that in order for my dreams to take place, I need to get somebody else. It's on record. I mean, you can't. I mean, it's better. Jared Goff did become a better quarterback now than he is in 21. But another team's coach said, for me to taste the glory. Now it's easy for McVay to go, man, I treated Goff so bad. It was just, I'm such a bad guy. Yeah. But bottom line, when you felt like you needed to win, you got somebody else who might have had the it factor in the right situation. I feel like maybe Jared Goff could win somewhere else. And your point is very fair to make because the odds of finding a better quarterback are so high, but sure, let's gamble. See, Joey, and I get it. Your investment in the team, you like the winning. I view it as the same. You have Jared Goff, you win 10 games, great. You don't win the Super Bowl. You move on. You go 0-16, great. We've been there, done that. Find the next one. Until you win the Super Bowl. Yeah, let's gamble. It's all the same. You end up at the same spot. No Super Bowl. Yeah, it's much better to win. For sure. But I am a gambler. And let's see. Because I kind of would think that if they went with the total package quarterback and made sure that this is what you need. You need arm strength, mobility, athleticism, you can cycle through every year and find somebody and surround them with talent and maybe even do it on a rookie contract. Listen, I know you're making Jared Goff some magical figure, but Sam Darnold did it for 35 million. See what I'm saying? You could almost say you could get a patsy. You could say, I'm just going to get a guy that's a super game manager and take that 50 million and add it to the defensive line, linebacker, cornerback, safety. Give 10 million. You get 4 players. You get a rookie and you just give them the best team possible. There's an argument to be made that's not much of a gamble. If you surround a somewhat serviceable quarterback with some talent, you could do it that way too. But I respect you, Joey, 2 times. Keep bringing it. I love the debate. Hopefully, I put together words that makes my argument a little plausible. Jeez, Jake is kicking like he has lady issues. And Brian L says, look, the 49ers were able to get where the Lions got with Mr. Irrelevant. So there's a lot of ways to skin the cat, man. I know I just have never fallen in love with the players. That's just been me. I've just been like, can you find better? Can you find anybody out there? Can it be possible? That's all it really is. I've never been like all about the players because I stopped buying their jerseys 10 years ago. I'm just all about winning. Great question, Andrew Jackson. It's a team sport, so how does it all fall on Goff? Well, why are you paying him $50 million? Because that's what you're supposed to do? It's a team sport, exactly. I want to pay a team sport. I want to pay Sam Darnold $30 million and win a Super Bowl. Exactly. But, Goff did not play well in that Commanders game. He might have had a concussion, but he didn't play well. It does not all fall on Goff. It is not all his fault. But he's making a lot of money. All right, but that's a really good discussion on Goff, as respectful as possible. That's really cool to have, and I want to keep having it. Any players that you're now getting some more hype on? Skylar Gill-Howard. Are you buying the hype on some of these young guys? Are you buying the hype on Skylar Gill-Howard, Derek Moore, Jackson Meeks? I got a lot of respect for Jason Colthorpe. Oh, this might be a take that might start making its rounds. Jason Colthorpe from Channel 4. I got a lot of respect for him. Played softball with him. He gets in. Doc, is this a real take? First of all, it's his job, and he's done a good job. Why would they bring in a guy to actually compete with him? Second, they literally drafted a quarterback and brought in Teddy Bridgewater, who was good enough to start for a few teams. And so I have to give a reply. One, I'm going to reply, yes, it's a real take. Two, competition is never bad, given that is the theme of camp. And three, I like maybe quarterbacks that just slightly better than UDFA and a guy with 1 foot out the door when he was signed. Goff can handle it. He's a big boy. He's a pro. But that's a good comment. I love Jason Colthorpe. He's a good dude. He's always acknowledged Detroit Sports Podcast. Very good dude. Wonderful journalist. But man, you guys love your people. You love your hand. What do they call it? You love your $500 win. You just love it. I won $500. You love your people. Oh yeah. The whole world saw it. Yeah, I could have did this speech today. We're like, man, that offensive line needs some work, huh, guys? Hank, get in my office. Hank, you got to talk to me. Hank, report to my office 5:30 stat. Bring the bourbon, bring the cigar, report to my office stat 5:30. Okay, fine, 5:35. Watch the extra 5 minutes and tell me what the F was that. We're like the first play. What the hell is this? You see Dan chirping into the microphone? Yeah, exactly. Hey, what the fuck, man? What the hell was that? He's like, what the hell was that? On the first play, you missed the Simon's block. Oh, that was terrible. So obviously, people are seeing the depth at edge. They love it. The absence of Sione Vaki is giving guys like Sailors a chance. Blackshear had a nice day. Travion Williams. Listen, I don't know what you guys. I'm ready. The Sione Vaki, Peyton Turner experiment, addition by subtraction. You just got to move on. I mean, really, are we just going to hang our hat on a special teamer? You have more competition down the depth chart. You got Dortch at 4, Tay Martin's competing, Lucky Jackson's doing his thing. So those are the things. The Ronin catches in. Hi, Doc. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. It makes me happy. The Ronin checks in on a Saturday afternoon. Unknown Lion fan, luscious source. Michael Neese was spotted leaving the locker room in crutches. The Lions' O-line was carted off the field during the game. Offensive lineman. Now, the best part is I'm so in the moment, I already forgot the point I made. Andrew, I apologize. What point did I just make? When you say I'm completely right. That's great. I'm so in the moment doing 5 different things. I apologize. I'm still running a website where the writers are submitting their content. I know I'm talking about golf and talking about the competition and that it's never bad. Maybe my answer to Jason Colthorpe. It's never bad. Like, there's nothing wrong with bringing competition for Jared Goff. Let's see. Oh, Jason replied back. Yeah, that makes sense. He's like, your whole point would be better received if you just phrase the argument as, why haven't the Lions gone out and secured a backup QB that couldn't ensure the season isn't over if he gets hurt? The competition argument is ridiculous when the offense he's got is top 5. And that's a very fair point to make. But now, how do I say it that, the belief is from most people that there is nobody better than Goff. I simply want the Lions to draft their Aaron Rodgers. Like Packers did with when Favre was the king. That's all. But I got to respect Jason. He's a very smart, bright guy. And see, that's how you have a normal sports discussion. But, Jason, I don't care how my arguments are received. I want competition. And, you know, I'm open minded to the fact that someone else could do the job. I'm not as fearful. I feel like if the Lions targeted just a listen, and maybe I am romanticizing the quarterback spot, and I am dismissing what Goff has done because I'm erasing everything because it's not a Super Bowl, which you shouldn't do, but that's what I'm doing. It is my opinion that if the Lions found a mobile quarterback with a strong arm, 6'3", 220 pounds, athletic, tough, played some good football, from a program that is semi-respectable in the SEC or from a conference that had a winner, smart, good family, you could plop them into this offense, restrict them a little bit, and get to the same level of wins with the talent that you have. That's kind of what I'm saying. No, Hendon Hooker was not. No, Hendon had flaws. He was from a one-read offense. He was not the guy. He was brought in to be a backup. I'm talking about a guy. Listen, there were some crazy people that said start him because he was mobile, but ball knower said this guy is being groomed to be a backup. There was never a chance Hendon Hooker was going to beat out Jared Goff. Never in a million years. I'm talking about a guy that is from a pro-style offense that's maybe even similar to what you run. You don't want Hendon Hooker. Why are you bringing up a name that's a loser? Just pick somebody from college right now. It is, like I said, I haven't been watching college football as much lately. I don't know if this Manning kid's going to be successful. He's more the prototypical, but somebody a little bit more athletic can move, can manage an offense, keep his head straight. You pay him. And you pay him $5 million a year and you just build up the team around him, you probably have the equal chance to get to the Super Bowl than what you're doing now. In my opinion, it might be stupid. That's what I think. I could be wrong. Okay. Simple as that. If the Rams thought, okay, if the Rams thought and they did their evaluation that Tyler Simpson was worthy of a first round pick, then the Lions should have did it. There you go. If they felt like he was the first, so Les Snead did a full evaluation with Sean McVay. They found the next guy. Maybe he'll be a bust. And if he's a bust, you get the next guy. Yes, you want to draft. Listen, I think that it's not, is it illegal? The Browns are stupid. They went out and tried to do 2 quarterbacks in the same draft. But I'm of the opinion you should draft a quarterback every year. Keep trying, keep slinging it. It's like more throws at the dice, more chances, more coupons to try and get it. Maybe you hit the Tom Brady. Maybe one of them's got the grit factor. Maybe somebody's got it, just that doesn't have the talent. And what I'm saying is, maybe traditionally you're good for a while with Goff. Maybe there's a Tom Brady out there. Maybe there's a guy out there that just needs a chance. Is it Mac Jones? Is it Aiden O'Connell? Is it somebody else? You never know. Listen, it's just a talk about the idea of building football teams. It can be built a different way. Well, listen, I mean, just last year, okay. Um, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong or whatever. Okay, if you didn't extend Goff, for example, okay, you gave him this big extension when you did it, it helped the cap, all that stuff. If you said, hey, you know what? I see a gamer out there, former first round pick. I see somebody out there we can win with. Wait a minute. What if they were not so loyal to Goff and they said, you know what, Jared, thank you for being that bridge quarterback. Let's go out and let's pay Sam Darnold and surround him with this talent. Let's only pay him 20 million. And maybe that stop that he had from the 49ers to the Vikings doesn't happen. From the 49ers to the Lions. Is it crazy to say you could have got a comparable quarterback at half the price? So you guys are happy with an A++ New York strip that's really good, but it costs $450. I'm okay with a minus New York strip that costs $80. But then you could have built the defense better with the $20 million. You could have said, oh, maybe we'll give it this extra defensive end money to this guy. You would have then allocated it along with Darnold to a defensive end. You would have had to have built the defense. See, this is all just, going way left, but it's all philosophical. The idea is on a principle level. And I love that you guys are asking me to find the quarterback. The idea is some teams win Super Bowls with the quarterback making less money and actually buying some free agents. Some teams, la 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 la. I'm just saying, if I saw some teams doing it, I'd like to try it. Hey, if I see some poker players ending up winning tournaments where they just call the big blind instead of raising every hand, I'll try it. Oh, he won a tournament. Or, hey, there are some guys that semi-bluff in poker tournaments and they collect big stacks early. I'm more conservative, but I would try it. Maybe make a re-raise with a 6-7 offsuit. But traditionally they say you're not supposed to play 6-7. That's stupid. Until the flop comes 6-6-7 and you bust aces. So, but that's that. Listen, that's philosophical. It's very interesting to have that discussion. But that's how I think. And hopefully Jared Goff shuts me up and proves everybody that supported him right. And that's fine. I'll happily eat crow. But until then, find me somebody. Find me cheaper. Find me better. Find me some competition. Find me something. It ain't Luke Altmaier and it ain't Josh Dobbs. Just at the very basic level. We can get into some high level talk philosophically, but it ain't Josh Dobbs and it ain't Luke Altmaier. For now. It is. I think it's interesting to talk about when the two parties are being civil. It's very interesting. And I appreciate Joey 2 times for being here. Come in here, challenge me. And I'm not saying that potentially I'm right. I'm just saying I've seen other teams do it. Appreciate those that are willing to have the discussion and not call me names, because it has worked for other teams. So Skylar Gill-Howard, Jackson Meeks, Eric O'Neill, which some unsung heroes are catching your attention that you like the depth. I think Skylar Gill-Howard makes the defensive line better and makes it so that I think here's the problem. Stock up Gill-Howard, stock way down Mekhi Wingo. Similarly, you upgraded the defensive line room. You just got to move on. Wingo is just, for whatever reason, not the guy that's been able to stay on the field. Maybe you stick with it this season, one more year, but man, he's not able to stay on the field. Defensive end depth has been awesome. It's been good to see. It's finally good to see production, sacks. And maybe that is indicated Um, I think that I think that there's been maybe a little bit of a shift philosophically in the Lions defense. I like the idea of players taking advantage of their opportunity, taking advantage of their man. 2 hours flew by. We already got another story coming out at 5 o'clock. So what I was checking is 5 o'clock story coming out, 6 o'clock story coming out every year. Yes, that's what you're. Listen, if that's what you're paying these scouting departments, find somebody. God damn it, find somebody. Your whole organization hasn't found one no, one great quarterback once. Goff is maybe the closest. It's Stafford Goff, and still you don't have a Super Bowl. What does that say? It's the team. Yeah, I think that that's a very fair comment to say. Uh, Brad's 2026 draft has a chance to produce some level of productivity. Blake Miller, Skylar Gill Howard, Derek Moore. That Jimmy Roller injury sucks, but he hopefully can get back when the season starts. That was weird in that you don't typically see players going on podcasts and then declaring that they're going to play. And then the coach comes out is like, well, that might be tough. Maybe this is just a player pushing for himself to get on the field, and the Lions being uber cautious. But that was cool to see Jimmy Roller. I'm going to be back next week. Dan's like, well, that might be a little tough. So, so yes, he was very much so. You got 9 more days. He's still there. The issue at hand is going to be this. Now, this is going to be key in the transition. Mr. Rod Wood is going to have some influence on the transition for the new guy. Can the new guy rub off all the information that he gets from Rod Wood and use it and do his own thing too? Listen, Rod Wood was good for what he did in regards to two things. He brought major things to Detroit. He was able to do the behind the scenes work. His biggest problem was when he spoke, everyone didn't like the things coming out of his mouth. And he should not have been the spokesperson for he should have not been the spokesperson for why the Lions are taking the money back from the players. Dan Campbell's nickname for Skylar Gill Howard is Sun Bleach. Yep. So story coming out in 2 minutes. I think the transition is going to be good when the new guy comes in and he sets forth. But again, it's going to be just a lot of efforts to build the infrastructure to make the team. I think the Lions, seriously, and this is crazy to think about conceptually, if they're worth $7-8 billion right now, if they win the Super Bowl with a Lebanese businessman running it, I could see them getting sold for $20 billion. I could see it. My mind, my vision would be he oversees a sale of the Detroit Lions to $20 billion. You know what I mean? Could you imagine if they just won one Super Bowl? They probably would double their value in one Super Bowl. 5 o'clock, baby. Yeah, basically, Gavin, it's simple. We just try to put out a story. The algorithm loves it when you put out a story once every hour. It's real simple. And I have the team, and it makes it fun because I have a really good team. You know, Christian is amazing. He's a great journalist. Emmett Matisovsky is passionate and working hard to get better every single day. And Vito Churko. Vito Churko is my problem child, but I love him like a brother. So he does great work. He's a problem child. He represents the journalists that annoy the shit out of me. Please, smash the like button. We got 75 people strong, 350 overall. Vito can't meet a deadline. Vito, your deadline 7 a.m. Files the story at 7:30. Now we put the story out 7:30. $20 billion. No, I don't want the headache. That's a lot of responsibility because you know me, my stupid ass would walk up there first day. I would be, who are the more outs? I would be a combination of Jerry Jones, Al Davis, and Mark Cuban all in one. Walk up there in a fur coat. Y'all get ready. Print those Super Bowl tickets. We're gonna get this year. And the next year, go up there, walk up there with another pimp suit, another watch, fresh watch. Y'all get ready. We're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. We like by the third year. Listen, shut up. What do you stop hyping this? Stop with your bullshit. Give us some substance. Give us the facts. Okay, the facts are one controversy every month. Did you only interview 9 women assistants? They'd be like, Doc has a staff. Here's my staff: head coach woman, assistant general manager woman, defensive coordinator woman. Be like, Doc has a problem. Right. Doc would be like the early Tom Gore, sitting in the front row, shooting t-shirts into the crowd. Exactly. I get a 15-yard penalty for running on the field when my cornerback gets a pick. Is that Doc with Terry Arnold in the club? Is that Doc gambling? Is that Doc fronting 100K to Terrion? Like, it is illegal to give markers to your players. You're like, Doc has interest payments coming from half his roster. Yeah, no, that is a likely possibility. Is I'm a 2-year owner and the owners vote me out within 2 years. The owners are like, no, not him. All right, we're gonna get out of here soon. That was a good 2 hour. That 2 hours flew by. Look, it's real simple. Bottom line, this stuff is easy. Um, Easy stuff. Defense good, offense not so good. Offensive line is going to be the downfall, and people are not going to like. And I'm just really happy to see. Well, now, what do you need to see next week? What do you want to see? What do you want to read about? What do you want to learn about? Oh, let's see. I'm already 6 minutes behind. Dang it. No, this is good. Winners and losers from preseason win over Commanders. You know what? Um, let's just take another 3 minutes. Let's take two breaks. Break an hour. Let me get the right video here. And I'll be back in like 3 minutes. Let's see. Countdown timer with red fire. I'll be back. All right, 2 hours in, post game show. Please smash the like button. We should be at 75 likes. I haven't checked. Look, it's gonna be the last 15 minutes or so. Get your last comments in. I'll read them. Look, in 3 minutes, so much flies by. I didn't even post a single article yet. So I'm got the first one in coming in right now. Winners and losers from Detroit Lions preseason win. Who was the biggest winner in your mind? Let me give Emmett his credit. Who's the biggest winner? Detroit fan man votes Jackson Meeks. I like what I saw so far today. His transition, obviously, it's going to take time, being that he's, was a wide receiver and they want him at tight end, his body type. Detroit fan man stats looking up. Tesla had 0 targets today. Don't know yet how many snaps, but he was out there too much to be a non-factor. I just say that I think that that's the biggest, situation in which you'd like to see him targeted. Why wouldn't you target her? Why isn't he not in the game plan this week? Did he not do enough in practice to get it done? Yeah, and I think I tweeted it out when he was already out of the game, when his portion of his playing time was done, but he didn't do nothing. That sucked. That was a bummer because I think he's a player that, but look, you can't get everybody clicking you just can't get everybody clicking at the same time. How concerned are you about Tesla? Let me give you the winners and losers list that Emmett created. Emmett's winners: Skylar Gill Howard, DJ Reed, Derek Moore, Devin White, Greg Dortch, Blake Miller, Travion Williams, Eric O'Neill, Jackson Meeks, Larry Borum, yeah, Seth McLaughlin, Colby Sorsdahl, Keith Abney, Miles Frazier, Melvin Priestley. A lot of offensive linemen. Look, if you don't get targeted, it just might be, the opposing defense didn't give him enough of a chance to get open. And that's what's funny too, just to go back, the Jared Goff take is not one that's new. I've been saying it for 3 years. Feels like everybody's reaction is always new. You know? Yeah. Uh Exploring. Now look at just the idea of it. What's it gonna hurt? Okay, even if you're not like taking it to the level where I am, where you get the Aaron Rodgers, you're telling me that the ceiling is Dobbs and Luke Altmaier? Like, come on. So there's levels to this. Okay, fine. I am more higher end. Y'all love golf, but the Lions, I think, are here. Can't they be like here? That's all I'm saying. Just think about it logically. If you take your emotion out of it and you take your biases out of it, Teddy Bridgewater retired. He had 1 foot out the door. He's not viable. Luke Altmaier is a practice squad guy, and Josh Dobbs is on 19 teams in 19 years. Can I at least get you to just a little bit better than the backups you got? That's all. Yeah, I can't wait to see Ahmed Hassanin get some reps and grow. Anybody else? Pac, LOL. Think we'll swoop up on Joey Porter? No. There was conflicting reports. If you checked in yesterday, obviously, I don't know if that was from Jordan Schultz, the agent, kind of indicating we're not exactly happy with the contract talks. But a beat writer from Pittsburgh said that there is no serious any chance that the Steelers would trade Joey Porter unless a team gave up 2 first rounders. So it's kind of like the business thing. I do think that the agent might have sent out a post to a reporter to kind of get the contract talks in a better spot. But I don't, and plus, because of the fact that he might command a new contract north of 25 million, I don't think the Lions can do it. We wrote about it. He's okay, but I don't know if he's $30 million a year worth it. Wells Walker has a disagreeing opinion. Dobbs has all the tools, smart, good size, arm, mobility, accuracy, and decision-making seem to be the problem. Accuracy and decision-making seem to be the problem. Tomlin loved Dobbs, drafted him in Pittsburgh in the 4th, still gave up on him. The according to Sports Illustrated, who ranked backups every year, I respect their opinions too. They say, their NFL reporters say he's good for 1 game as a backup. But the more you play him, the more the accuracy and decision-making problems reveal themselves. Show yourself. So he can mask it for a game. But when you need him for 5-6 games, and again, the proof is in the pudding when you give the opinion. People are like, look, if Goff goes down, the season's over. Every fan says that. So I don't want that to be the final conclusion. I want them to go, no, Goff goes down, we can win the Super Bowl. But y'all say, no team can do it. Patriots did it. So it can be done. Dream the impossible dream. You have to see it to believe it. Envision it, say it, and manifest it. See, but that's where you guys are SOL. You guys are like, not possible, it's Goff. I'm like, it's possible. Manifest it, say it, do it, try it. You guys are the ones like, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to happen. We can't find it. We're just going to stick with Altmaier and Dobbs. Just listen to what you're saying and spit that back to a high achiever who tries everything. Show yourself. All we can get, like literally all you can get is Dobbs and Altmaier. Show your, it just rings to me in my head, and maybe I need to say it differently. Show yourself. I want better quarterback competition in an era where Dan Campbell says competition's king. Make it at the best spot. Show it. Goff does not need to be on no throne. He ain't done nothing. He elevated the Lions. Maybe that's enough to put him in the Hall of Fame. Maybe that's enough for some media to crown him and tell him he walks on water. But not in my book. Not yet. All right. That was a great 2 hours. I loved it. That was fun. Now, I do have to give you the payoff on what the hell's been going on in the media. More and more media are getting in bed with the teams. It makes sense. The teams can get some public relations. The media sites can get more access. So look at what Pro Football Talk wrote and what it means. Okay, it's just going to take me 5 minutes. Realizing that we're independent. We are not bought and paid for by anybody. We are not compromised. And compromise means that if you are getting favors from the team, how are you going to critique them? Why would you critique them? Simple as that. Why would you critique a team that's giving you benefits? Or why would you critique a team fairly when you're partnered with them? Or when the team in the league are paying you? Why would you critique? Well, you might just bury some things. You might not talk about some things. So look at this article. So when this article came out, it made me think too, because the Lions are openly working now with media to do public relations. And so that's not appropriate. That is causing a problem with reporting. People are not willing to investigate. They're not willing to talk about things. They're not willing to have these kind of discussions. In most of the media world, Jared Goff walks on water, and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm like, okay. But there are things happening behind the scenes that are making it where if you don't pay attention, you're not getting media, you're getting public relations. And it's crazy to think about. And it happened now with the Lions in training camp. I'll tell you a story here real fast because they disclosed it openly. A blog site openly discussed it. It's wild to think about that a team would go to a blog site and say, hey, we'll set you up, run a broadcast here. Wait a minute. Isn't it supposed to be the other way around? Isn't the media site supposed to ask and then run their own stuff? No, the Lions gave the blog site gear and gave them help to run it. I was like, wait a minute. That's not appropriate. That's an inappropriate gift. That's not. And I said, is this journalism nowadays? That's not according to the rules that I thought were supposed to be followed and be professional. The team is not supposed to go to a blog site and give them a favor. That doesn't sound exactly right. That sounds like trying to get some PR. So I was like, wait a minute. So I looked it up, I found it, and I'll share it with you. But let's see this Pro Football Talk Athletic piece. And here's what's happening with the Athletic. So there's two blog sites in Michigan, two sites in the media that are going to start working maybe with sites. So let me show you this story here. You can read it yourself. It's on Pro Football Talk's Twitter page. And the NFL and the Athletic may deepen their relationship. Conflict of interest be damned. Well, I'm like, what? August 21st, yesterday. So, of course, I click it. It's very interesting. Mike Florio, who's aware of this kind of stuff. Enter the Athletic. According to Front Office Sports, the NFL and the Athletic have discussed expanding their relationship. One possibility would be to include content from the Athletic appearing on NFL.com and NFL Plus, like a partnership, like on Sports Illustrated and me. But it's not supposed to go with the team you're covering and a media company. How does selling content to the NFL comply with standards? If our readers question our adherence to that basic tenet of journalism, where when reporting and writing stories, we do not have an agenda, and it is important that our readers understand that, our credibility is at stake. To maintain the highest form of authority, we should avoid even the appearance of conflict of interest. Obviously, a business relationship with the NFL, pursuant to where the NFL is paying the Athletic to have content on their site, creates a conflict of interest. Does that make sense? Meaning, it's real simple. If the National Football League comes to John McEnroe and says, hey, John, we're going to give you $1 million. Do you think I'm going to be ripping Jared Goff? I'm choosing to be independent. Now, this is common. Wells, no, I mean, I wouldn't do it. Now, Wells, are you a wrestling fan? This also goes to what happened with Busted Open Radio. WWE bought Sirius's channel. And guess what happened? Busted Open no longer is going to talk about AEW. And it's fine. You can create lucrative relationships. This is one way you can go. in media. You can do this. You can kiss a lot of ass and you can work your way up. You can do that. And for some people, I would recommend it. For some weak people that don't want to challenge authority, that don't want to seek closer to the truth, this is the way to go. This is how you should do media. Kiss ass, play nice, get relationships, and get paid. I found a little different avenue, which is be real, build a loyal audience, and let them follow you through your whole journey. Okay? I'm not mad. I just don't think that this is the way it goes, because when things should be reported, they don't get reported. Now, look at this now. Okay, so I taped this. This is what your media is doing. So when they're puffing out the teams and they're not talking about negativity, it's not sometimes what they write, it's sometimes what they choose not to write. So listen to this. I'm going to play it. This is courtesy of Pride of Detroit. They're in bed with the Lions. They're bought and paid for. And they admitted it. They admit that they're bought and paid for. Out in the open for all to hear. I'm a consumer. I listen. Here's what they said. And I'll break it down. It's real simple. Doc is not bought and paid for. I have no partnerships with the Lions. They are not attached to me in any way. They can't come to me and say, John, write this, don't write this. They can't say nothing to me. A lot of the media, in order to keep their credential, they want access. They want to do this. And I don't blame them, really, but it's not media anymore. It's public relations. Listen to this closely. Courtesy of Pride of Detroit. Listen to it. I'm going to play it for you. It's loud and clear. It's right there. And he did the right thing by disclosing it, but it doesn't make it right.
Yeah, a ton of individual credit goes out. Neil is working the camera, which is, we didn't even think we were going to get someone to work the camera. We just thought they were going to set up and leave us, but Neil's amazing. You may have seen him all over the production team. He's the one with the big mustache. He's the one that plays awesome drums with Eamon, the PR director, who also deserves a ton of credit, not only for coming to us with this idea, but letting us use his audio equipment and getting everything set up. So yeah, a ton of individual.
Wait, rewind. Wait. What happened here? So I heard that. I'm like, wait a minute, Vito. I messaged Vito, Christian, all the professors. They're like, wait a minute. They're like, that's a gray area right there. Alert. That's not supposed to happen. Okay. Think about what you just heard. The Lions went to a blog site and said, hey, according to what this host declared, hey, come on our property. We'll give you the gear and we'll run it for you. That's not media. That's public relations. That's not how it's supposed to go in any sense of professional rules. So if the Lions were to do that for me, which they never did, I would have had to have said, thank you for the chance. I have to decline. I have my own gear. I'll have my own people set it up. That's not appropriate. No, it's bought and paid for. Hey, maybe when there's a little story here that's a little negative, let's maybe not write it so fast. It's out in the open. It's out in the open. It's a public show. And they did right. I'm glad they disclosed it. It's out in the open. The rule is you're supposed to disclose it if it happens, but that's not supposed to happen. That's a no-no. Now, I get it. If you're in the media, you want to get access to the Lions staffers that are not typically talking, but you're supposed to say no, according to the rules. Now, what's happening in media is the rules are getting a lot more grayer in this space. All I can tell you is we are not doing that. So as a media consumer, just pay attention and realize that a lot of things are changing and it's going more towards that way. Partnerships with the leagues, access. I don't know. How do I feel about it? I think my humble opinion, if you ask me, John, what do you think about it? If you don't have any other thing to fall back on, this is something you probably should entertain. Be nice to the teams. Don't rock the boat. Accept gifts, I guess. Break some rules for access. But in the end, you risk just being called biased. But if you get to do the podcast, you get guests, you get to do those things, I think it just makes the truth harder to find. I think that that's what we're seeing more and more of. Media is deciding we can't cut it. We need to get more deals, and the deals are with the teams. I'm lucky. I got lucky in my situation. I've been uncompromised. Nobody's going to come to me, I don't think, and say, "Hey, we're going to give you money to shill for us." The luscious sources would probably get mad. Now, you heard that. It's open. It's public knowledge. It's open everywhere. Everyone can hear it. Am I wrong to think, wait a minute, if the team is going to a site and saying, "Hey, come do this, we'll give you the gear," is that wrong? When a consumer sees that, I'm like, the first thing is that sounds bought and paid for. So Clinton, and that makes sense. But that's where media is going. And I'm like, I kind of wish that there was a little bit more strictness with that, but you can't fight it. The NFL is a public relations machine, and I don't blame them for doing it. I'm not mad. They did everything right, but that's not really the letter of the law in journalism. In terms of, at least, okay, how does that make me look then? You know what I mean? It makes an unfair playing field. It muddies the playing field. Because wait a minute, that wasn't offered to me. But that's what it is. A lot of people are compromised. A lot of people now, if the Athletic is getting paid by the NFL, maybe I'm going to go on a podcast and be like, man, the Lions have a lot of Hall of Famers. I love that team, man. They're the best ever. I feel like this team is the best team I've ever seen in the history of the world. Or are you going to say, wait a minute, is the defensive coordinator good enough? Is the head coach good enough? Does he have enough coaching acumen? You see what I'm saying? Are you going to question what you need to question? Are you going to be dogged in your investigation to uncover anything that you're supposed to uncover? So, yeah, it's not paid. It's access. We'll give you equipment. I mean, you're not supposed to accept gifts. You just Google in AI, are you allowed as a media member to accept gifts from a team? The answer is no. So that's what it is. But listen, I can't, again, hear me out. I am not blaming anybody for doing it. I get it. Money's there, access is there. You get to do what you got to do. You skate free. But I'm a little bit more, let's just try to follow the one big rule of doing this is you're not supposed to get in bed with the people you're all the gear that was used to do the stuff was provided by the Lions. And the Lions offered it. Hello, hello. Yes. See, the internet gods, this wire here, the way it hangs, the internet god said, okay, you're about to get yourself in big trouble. Obama net. No, not Obama net. Wire net. There's a wire right here. And the way I position the mic bends it. It's simple. The internet gods are like 2.5 hours of you idiot. Shut up. But you guys tell me, I'm open-minded. But all I can do is present what I see when I see it. I'm like, because remember, I am a consumer as well. I read everything. I love it. I love listening to other podcasts. I read everything. I consume everything. I subscribe. I pay money to The Athletic, the Detroit News, the Free Press, Justin Rogers. I pay money. So I am a consumer. But as a consumer, I don't want my reporters in bed with the team. I don't want that. Taking away my role at work. I don't want that. I want objectivity. I want, tell me the truth. Shoot me straight. Tell me the truth. So I'm the Doc, John McEnroe. Please, let's maybe get this to 100 likes. It's 5:30. There'll be another story at 6. Maybe if I can find the snap counts at 7. But keep following. PFF grades are already out. All that stuff is already out. Good Lord, I've been on here 2.5 hours. They're cranking out the stuff already. But again, you tell me. If I'm wrong and you say, Doc, you know what? It might be better for your career to kiss ass to the league and move your way up. I don't think I can do it. That's the sick part. My wife would be like, do it. My sister would be like, do it. My nephew would be like, yeah, do it. We can get to the Super Bowl. You can cover the Super Bowl. Kiss ass for access, John. Stop being an idealist. Stop with this romantic idea that you're supposed to talk about the teams and be like separate. It is. It's. I think that's kind of the lesson that I learned the hard way, but I'm okay. When people say, oh, I had a beautiful safety net, so I was willing to risk it. It didn't matter. It is. It's always better to kiss ass. That's really the bottom line. Is it's smarter to go that way than my way, but I did not suffer a big consequence given how I'm conducting myself. What's the consequence? Nothing. I saved $200 a month, more readers, more people know who I am, more haters. So nothing really changed for me. And I think bottom line is because I'm open book. I'm just telling you what I think when I think it. And I'm open to say maybe I was not playing the game the way the game is going, but I'm not sure I like the way the game is going. With that said, NFL, if you want to pay me $2 million, maybe I'll show about the Lions too and tell everybody that Jared Goff is a wonder kid. Can't do it. Jared Goff, I've turned over a new leaf, is the greatest thing since Joe Montana. No, I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing okay. I'm enjoying. I do enjoy podcasting. It does make me happy. The website is thriving and doing what it needs to do. I just don't like that part of it. I don't like that. It's unfair. Basically it's setting up an unfair playing field. You're not. There are rules to this, but what is it? What are we going to call it? Fan entertainment sites. I don't know, but that's not reporting. That's not technically reporting. Reporting live from Lions training camp when the Lions invited me and gave me all the gear. But listen, I am the Doc, John Macaroon, and I simply represent the Detroit Sports Podcast. And I am partnered with On Sports Illustrated. We talk, we debate, we discuss, and maybe you guys in the comments will say, play the game, and maybe someone will partner with you other than on Sports Illustrated. But I like my partners. I know we have that one rule that maybe I'll be a habitual. He was a habitual line stepper, but I know I didn't violate probably the biggest line. Not in bed with the team. Fair and balanced and highly critical. See y'all hopefully tomorrow. We'll break down tomorrow's family day a little bit. Soccer in the mornings, a big drive, but in evening time, maybe 6, 7, 8. Maybe we'll do a recap of everything of the day. We'll have a 53-man roster, PFF, snap counts, more analysis of the game after we watch film. Check it out. Let me know what you thought of this show. Anything I can do better? Anything to make me a better human? Let me know. Thanks, everybody.